following is a White Roof Radio special audio presentation, The Quarantine Show. Last week, I was able to get Todd, Chad, and Gabe together to actually record something. We used Zoom this time around to be part of that club, so apologies for any sound quality or occasional delay. We talked about a few things that I was actually able to find links for. As usual, you'll be able to find those in the show notes. And of course, this episode is brought to you by the normal group of awesome sponsors that you should never forget and spend all of your money with, starting with MotoringStripes.com, and then also our friends over at OutMotoring.com, CravenSpeed.com, and of course, Chad at Detroit Tuned. We join a conversation already in progress. Oh yeah, I've used zero gas in 5 weeks, like a line of gas in 5 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't had a purchase. I purchased fuel in both vehicles 5 weeks ago, and I haven't done
actually. Gas is cheap right now. You should fill up.
I don't need any gas. I'm down like
I've driven up to Wisconsin a couple times to watch my son, so I've thrown some miles on, but otherwise, just chilling.
Yeah, I'm playing by the rules, right?
Yeah, I haven't used much gas, but hey, like I said, you guys earlier a couple weeks ago, the good part is I was on empty. My last time I filled up was 2-3 weeks ago. Yeah, completely in the JCW, and went to fill it up full. Less than $20. It was $19 change.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How big is the tank in that car?
It's like 11 gallons.
11 something?
Yep.
What'd you pay? That's less than $2 a gallon, dude.
Yeah, it was like $1.85.
I've seen as low as 89 cents a gallon right now.
Yeah. Are you serious, John?
I haven't looked at the price of gas.
That's for 87 regular.
Oh no,
I think we're still over $2 here.
Yeah, premium was.
I haven't even looked. So I have this. So are we recording?
Yeah.
Okay. This is so I have a personal philosophy that I've stumbled onto about 2 years ago, which is to never, ever look at gas prices religiously.
Yeah.
Otherwise you just turn into my dad.
Yeah, exactly. It's a slippery slope. And I used to do it consistently. And now I just you know what? I know I'm going to pay to get gas in my car. And I just need to eliminate
Which is
stress.
why it was shocking to me when I got done. I'm like, is this full? And I kept clicking it. And it's like, no.
Yeah. No, that's true. You see the end result. I see the end result.
I've been like that for years, really. I mean, this car eats gas.
Sorry.
The cars that I drive, I'm like, you know what? I want to put gas in it. I'm done. That's fine.
Yeah.
So I'm just riding my bike everywhere, and I go to a grocery store, and in one grocery store.
Your bike is pretty baller, by the way.
Which one?
Oh, nice comeback.
All 6 of them.
Wait till you see the new bike I just added to the garage today. I haven't put a picture on it. I just got Kelly an electric bike.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you,
rad.
I wanted to buy a bike this summer really, really bad. Okay. Both of us were going to buy bikes. She's got long legs. She needs to kind of try her bike out. I wanted to find a nice bike. We're all in that $400 or $500 range, not $2,000 bikes, but something nice. We can't go buy bikes right now.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, bike shops are open. You just have to call and make an appointment because the doors are locked.
Not in Detroit.
It's like a car. Really? It's like an auto dealer. Chad.
Bike shops are deemed necessary, and at least in Arizona and California.
Not in Michigan.
Yeah, same with Illinois.
Not in Michigan.
Wow.
I thought car dealerships are still open.
No, car dealerships are all closed except service, not sales.
Right.
Sales can be open online.
Well, drive down to Indiana.
I'd still find you a bike shop. That seems weird that bike shops are closed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what they're doing,
service, but they won't sell.
That's even weirder because all my guys are doing everything.
I mean, they're trying to eliminate people going to stuff that, going to buy things that they don't need to live, which I get. They're also saying, hey, just go online, but to your point, Chad, that's kind of tough. You need to.
That doesn't work for us.
Try it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I could buy a bike. Okay, no problem. But my girlfriend, she needs to really try a bike out. Like she's got long legs.
I'm gonna send
a couple more weeks.
I'll send you recommendations, one for her, one for you.
That'd be great. I'd love it.
And you can order them online, and I guarantee it fit her.
And
I know exactly what bike.
What the end of April? Tell you car sales are going to do. You know what?
What? 5'11". My girlfriend's 5'11".
Okay, thank you.
Water you got
long
there.
legs.
Yeah, her legs, they go all the way up.
Yeah, they go all the way up. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna find out as far as online sales go what it's going to mean to car dealers here at the end of the month, because I can tell you, I think my dealers sold one Mini this month.
Yeah. Brutal. Should we? I mean, are we?
Did Todd just talk about cars?
They're just talking about whatever.
Just talking about whatever.
So we're talking about cars, right? Yeah. So So I'm gonna. So I did the coming back from Wisconsin. I did the drive-by of a couple of different dealerships just to see, and the amount of cars in Mini, the big Mini of Chicago, the new one in I can't think of it. It's right off the highway. It's shocking. I mean, it's shocking how many cars they have.
Really?
Sitting on the lot.
Nothing. We have.
Yeah, and I almost feel like it's a dumping ground for a bunch of dealers in Chicago as they've consolidated. So they just have a ton. And so I'll tell you right now, there's no way that you're going to be able to walk. You're not going to be able to walk in there and get a crazy deal once they open back up.
Oh no, I would almost guess.
I mean, if anybody listening to this lives in the Chicago region, Mini of Glenview, I think it's Mini of Chicago, Mini of Glenview. What else? It's off the highway. It's the north side of Chicago. It's going to be like madness in terms of the deals they're going to put on cars, because they have a row of Clubmen, for instance, that's got to be 25 deep at least.
I'll tell you,
30.
Wow,
if they're 20,
that's Clubmen.
Yeah.
Holy, that's all the Clubmen on the planet right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. If any of them are 2019s, the financing deals on those from Mini are 0% for 72 months.
Yeah, I imagine you're going to have a lot of opportunity to do 72 months for 0% in various ways. And it's going to be like
Volkswagen's already really pushing for major deals right now.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be like 09, but more, you know.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because it's absolute madness. I mean, nobody's ever experienced, like, things were not like going gangbusters for everybody, but things were humming along, and all of a sudden just like, whoop, like shut
and
down,
just
and then
stopped humming along.
You can't really just like turn it all back on like that. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's interesting.
There's going to be. I mean, I feel that, like, I've been slow for a couple of years, and then all of a sudden, literally from the middle of February to the middle of March, things were fantastic. I mean, I'm talking back to like 2013 numbers.
Nice.
And like on March 17th, when they shut the state down,
just hit. Yeah.
They just put on the brakes, and nothing happened for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, literally nothing happened for 2 weeks. And then I slowly started to try and figure out, you've got to adapt. I mean, I own a business, and you have to adapt and make up for, the losses here. But some of these things are losses for good. Like the Dragon is canceled this year.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Mini takes the States.
Mini takes the States, pushed to next year, which is great, because that's going to push some revenue into next year, and for a lot of people, not just me.
Looks like Gabe's rocking the quarantine haircut. I'm sorry, keep going, Todd.
You like that?
Yeah.
No, I just was looking at it.
You can't
it's a lot better than it
up
looks.
Here. My hair is out of control right now.
It's making my hair look way worse. This green screen thing. It's pretty good. I will say, in fact, it's very good, except for the back.
Oh.
Well, I will say that business has been really weird for me. Really weird. Shipping has tripled.
That makes sense.
We've gone from like 5 to 8 packages to 19 packages a day.
Dude,
everybody's got time to do the tinkering now.
Yes, exactly.
I'm in the garage to go, you know what? I'm finally going to put that air filter on my Mini. I'm finally going to put those springs on.
It's a lot of basic maintenance stuff. It's not really the elective things, but shipping has literally tripled for me right now.
Wow.
Yeah. But we're still making cars come in and out, and we're still doing things, and we're figuring out different strategies for bringing customers in.
Yeah.
But shipping has really exploded. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm lucky in that I've got a job can be remote if I need to. And I've got a company that does business with companies that do work with money, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
And so
gotta wonder.
I'm really lucky in that way, and that I'm still working just like Gabe. Gabe, I'm actually busier now than I was 2 months ago in the office.
I've never been busier. I mean, but busy doesn't, equate to more money for me, but
it doesn't to me either. But I've never had more work. I've never had as much of a workload than I do now. Even when I was in the office 6 weeks ago, I didn't have this.
So my business is I'm the same. And I mean, we were crushing it. Q1, we were crushing it. Last year was insane. And all of a sudden it went from like crushing it, like 30% growth to like done.
Yeah.
And I've got to make some cuts, a couple cuts in the next couple weeks.
Here's what's interesting.
But it's not bad. But it's not, all told, not bad though. Like there's a lot of businesses and certain sectors that are like, no, we're good. Let's just keep it going. And I get a sense that things are going to be okay.
Yeah. I get that. And we'll all recover from it too. But I wonder, DB, like you said, how many people are realizing that they don't really need an office anymore?
So this is my thought.
It's going to be huge.
Commercial real estate.
So I'm guessing right now my entire company is working remote, right? The office in France, office in Germany, office in England.
DB, we lost your internet.
Hang on, let me kill.
There you are. You're back.
But all of our offices are closed, and we're global, right? We've got offices in Brazil, France, Germany, all over the place, and they're all closed. Everybody's working from what I'm doing right here, and we're getting ready to change offices in Phoenix to a new office location, and I'm going to bet that when this is done, they're just going to say, yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
Well,
I think a lot of companies will be like, hey, come into the office a couple of days a week, but you don't need an office anymore. You don't need a permanent space, and it's going to be more of a rotational deal. And I think a lot of places are going to figure it out. It's just going to change the world. And
spend less money on gas, better air quality, all around good things.
Still got to have.
There's a lot of need for like collaboration and sort of hands-on stuff. But I've traveled a ton over the years, and I think in some ways that could change, but in other ways I know it won't. So it's interesting. I'm not really sure. It's still,
it's
TBD,
so funny. I've worked out of my house for 27 years now.
Right.
So in response, this is nothing for me. This is just life. The only thing that's different for me is that there's like 50% less work to do. And so kind of like going a little crazy, trying to stay busy and
Hey, Todd, are you making shirts?
I finished my basement bar, by the way.
Oh, nice. Want pictures of that?
Oh, cool.
But, it is interesting to see the overall life of everybody and figuring out how this is all going to work. So,
yeah,
I do think that the work from home is going to become a thing for a lot of people because but I've also put all of my eggs, my retirement, everything into a building that I have.
Yeah, but Chad, your work is different.
But you're
but my work is different, but I want to sell the building to somebody who needs a building.
Right.
Oh yeah. Okay.
How could that affect me, 10 years from now or 15 years from now? That could be huge. The real estate market could really change a lot.
Yeah, but for things like that, though, Chad, for warehouse space and stuff like that's always going to be there's going to be a need there. But
there will be.
If you had like a building that you owned that was nothing but 100 offices, then you might be screwed.
Yeah, what actually will probably happen is I will sell it to somebody who wants to do medical marijuana or something along that lines, like
grow house or something like that.
This could be a grow house. You could do this legally in this area because this is, the
zone for it or whatever.
Right. Here you go.
Nice.
Give me $1 million. Done. So one of these days.
Oh, geez.
Nice. So yeah, no mini takes estates. I know the entirety of Facebook is extraordinarily upset about that. But cool. What are you gonna do?
So here's my thought on that. Why why don't we do it ourselves? You know,
I think a lot of people.
I don't know.
Gabe.
There's that whole
With minis on the Mac, right?
There's
well, mini on the Mac
social
is
distancing.
And minis on the Mac is going to not go this year.
Well, it was scheduled.
Maybe
it was scheduled. It was scheduled.
Yeah.
It's scheduled for next year. That's
I'm just
right.
saying, like, I mean, I don't know. I'll throw it out there. I mean, obviously, you know, there's a lot of different ways to do it. There's a million different tools to plan these things, but you know, it would be interesting for those who want to do something this summer. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of people come June 1st. They're like, I gotta do stuff. I gotta get out.
Yeah, but the problem with that, Gabe, and that's awesome. But the problem with that is you still have to be smart about it. You still have to be responsible about it. We just can't say, oh, you know what?
Right.
There's still people getting sick and dying, so we're just going to go drive around this country anyway. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
yeah, but absolutely.
With strangers,
I think you have to be smart. And I'm not saying it's probably not going to be June. Maybe it's August. But I think, I think that for, let's just say, some 50 diehard, mini fans or 100 or whatever.
But that's still more than what you can collaborate with right now.
Well, right now, but I mean,
I see where you're going with that, though.
Things will,
and that actually, I think that actually would be a really good idea because also we all saw what the mini take stage route was going to be, and I think it was basically like New York City to Boston, right? And then turn around and go back. It was a really short. It was going to take like a day and a half or something. I don't know what it was, but it's for the electric mini, which I get. Good.
Well, not really. They actually said in the FAQs that this is not, if you have an electric mini, this is not a good trip for you because there's not an infrastructure along the way to charge the car. That wasn't really the idea. No. It was shorter. It was basically, from like upstate New York to North Carolina,
right?
Ending at the track there in Spartanburg,
right?
So,
but that leaves out, anybody who's west of Kentucky.
Yeah, it makes it hard. It makes it hard.
Yeah, it makes it hard.
We talked about it, and it would be kind of one of these. We basically drive kind of to the DC area and then pick up and do the last like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah,
was what we were thinking about.
See, like if I want to do that, I have to plan for 4 weeks of driving. Right? It's a week and a half for me to get to the East Coast and a week and a half back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people west of even say St. Louis were like, "Well, I'm out."
Yeah.
Well, and so I don't know. I think there's other options too. I mean, let's do something. Like in some ways, I almost want to say like, okay, how about this? How about we just arrange like 3 or 4, do them simultaneously over 2 days, and Zoom the hell out of it. Like social the hell out of it, and actually like focus it on like sending it to mini. And what if it's a giant like us having a good time, but also it's a little bit of like a mini. We can do this. We got this year.
Everything what would have worked really well for that would have been the White Roof Radio Vegas meetup, Ambiv Remembrance Tour 2020.
Right.
Well, it can still happen.
Yeah,
it can still happen.
But Vegas is closed right now.
I'm saying like August. I'm saying late this summer or something.
Speaking of Vegas, Todd, you're friends with Donovan Resch on the Facebook internet, right? Have you seen the pictures of him they posted to the strip? Wow. It's like Jumanji, dude. And
you know what? I got to say,
crazy.
I'm not a germaphobe, but I do have a degree in biology and chemistry. And my attitude is, I don't know how soon, and I love to go to Vegas. I get an itch. That's my biggest sadness.
Look at Zoom. They gave us more. They removed our 40-minute time limit.
Nice. I'm not sure how soon I'm going to be eager to go back there and sit next to complete strangers and get on a plane for 4 hours or 2 hours, whatever.
Nah, I don't care. It's all going to be fine.
Well, you've got the immunity, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. So, let's talk about.
We should have talked about it while you were sick, so we could have heard all about your fever dreams.
Yeah.
I didn't have any fever dreams.
Oh.
I always have sort of action hero dreams anyway, so that's fine. So
would have been good to hear. So you're not like Chris Cuomo? Is that what you're saying?
No, I know. I saw that. I was jealous. I'm like,
honestly, I thought CNN would have better
dreams.
PTO policy than that, making that guy work when he's got coronavirus. I mean,
I know,
right?
It's good TV, man.
It's real.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
So, but all that said, I am a survivor of the coronavirus.
I got it. Music to put here, so I'll figure that out.
I mean, I don't mean to make light of it at all. It's extremely serious, and I'm I count myself very lucky. I'm just going to I'm looking at the date here.
Todd's going to make you a shirt that says, Todd's going to make a shirt that says I had coronavirus, but all I got out of it was this crappy t-shirt.
5 weeks ago, I got sick, and I had come back from New Orleans, actually. So, maybe not much of a surprise.
Yeah.
By the way, this is broken. I need that for my story. And I got sick, and I was like, I was traveling too, and I was like, wow, this doesn't feel right. And I fell asleep, woke up, and I was fever, like sweating. I'm like, this isn't good. And I at the time, like, of course, this isn't like that thing that they're talking about. I mean,
yeah,
it just like, how could I already have it? That's crazy. And
you're an early adopter. You always have
clearly. So that day, that afternoon, I'm like, oh, I'm feeling better. Like, I'm fine. It was just a flu. Like, usually like a flu lasts like 12 hours or something, just like be done. And it came back, and I felt maybe not quite as bad, but pretty close. And then the next day I'm like, I kind of still don't feel good. And then next night came back again. And that went on. And I mean, I was like fever 99.5 to 100.4, something like that. And I had every symptom except for a cough. And come to find out, the cough in the chest usually kind of comes on a little bit later, which it did for me too, but it was extremely mild. Again, I'm very lucky. It was very, very mild. So my fever was mild. I had aches and pains. I had aches like I was beat up like thoroughly, like my back, every part of me was sore. I was sweating like at night profusely, not to be gross, but it was bad. Like clearly something was not right. And I'd go in and out of fever, and it was like that for, I mean, God, I had a fever on and off for 8 days, which sucks. I mean, it wasn't bad. It's just that, man, it was just lingering. And at that point I felt like I've got to have it.
Yeah. So
I know I have it. There's no way I don't. And then finally I started having like, I'll get to that in a second. So finally, I started having, I'd breathe in real deep, and I'd feel it like a little bit here. I felt it. And then I get to the point where like, okay, that's weird. And then I would breathe in and I'd start to cough a little bit. Okay, that's weird too, because I never have any chest issues whatsoever, even with colds. And I'd like walk up a flight of stairs and I'd feel like I'm at like 15,000 feet up. Like I felt like I was at altitude. I was out of breath. And so that was alarming. And I'm glad I had it early on before I think like the mass hysteria has sort of taken a root, because I wasn't really concerned. I felt like this is fine. I'll be fine. I'm not going to worry about it. I went about my normal stuff. Like I went running. Like I didn't even really think about it. Like so
you're not really you.
All right.
Yeah, now you know.
Yeah. I did quarantine myself though.
That's good.
Like let it be known. I did not do jack shit because I thought like, oh, if this is it, I need to be pretty thoughtful about that. But needless to say, I thought I had it. So I went and got tested. I was very lucky. I got a test on day 12 and I came back negative. And I thought, okay, that's fine. My symptoms are over by day 12. I'm fine. And come to find out, I'm like, that test, unfortunately, that nasal test, worst thing I've ever done in my life. They stick a Q-tip up your nose. It basically hits the back of your neck. Like it's the worst
into your brain
thing ever. Those have a 30% failure rate.
Right.
Nice.
Which is bad.
Really bad.
It's not a good failure rate. That's a really high failure rate. So I got that test.
Batting average though.
Yeah, right. It's not bad. That's not bad. So I get this test and I'm not thinking much of it because again, in my head, I'm like, I know I had it. And if I didn't have it, God help me if I get it, because whatever I had was horrible. And so I decided that, why don't I figure out if I have the antibodies? And so lo and behold, I managed to find a doctor in the area that had like the first batch last week of the blood test, which is much, much more sort of accurate.
And that's the antibody test, right? Just to say that if you
it's actually the test for everything. So it tests for live coronavirus. It tests for if you have it, if you had it, if you're producing antibodies. Gotcha. And the doctor was telling me, he's like, everybody who comes in here, I was like on day 2, she's already tested like 50 people. Everybody comes in here thinks they had it. Nobody I've tested has had it. And so she's like, don't be upset if you don't have it. And I told her, no, I'm going to be pissed if I didn't have it, because I went through something and I really want it to be worth something.
Yeah.
And so, but I was kind of assuming I wouldn't have it. So she called me, which is odd. And she was like, well, you're the first. You not only show that you had it, but you are producing antibodies right now. And so it was a weird moment, because I at first it was like, oh, I knew it. And then my immediate thought was like, oh my God, I had it. Like, who did I touch a box that a FedEx person touched? Like, I'm thinking of all these things that I could have done that, could have put other people in jeopardy. And I didn't do much, but it still stuff started flooding back to me. And I was a little bit worried about it. And then I thought, like, oh, shit, like, this is really, like, that's real. That's crazy. And so right now I'm at the point where I'm waiting for her to get back to me, but I'm going to attempt to donate plasma, just because the antibodies are worthwhile, obviously. And they're going to either use it for treatment, or they're going to use it for vaccine, to sort of, validate the vaccines that they're testing. Yeah. So I'm just waiting for that to happen, for her to get back to me probably next day or so.
Which is funny because, the plasma treatment for, if you've got COVID-19, the plasma treatment, that goes back to pre-polio times. That's a 100-year-old treatment. And the reason we don't do that anymore, medically speaking, is because vaccines. We figured out vaccines for things like polio, and they pretty
that's interesting.
Pretty quickly come up with vaccines, and then doctors were like, wait a minute, what if we got plasma from 6 people, because we don't have vaccines yet? Let's try this therapy and see if it works. We've been doing it for 100 years. It's safe. There's no reason we can't. And so, but the problem is finding enough people who've had it and gone, okay, yeah, let's get them to donate plasma. And so it is a very valid, there's totally valid medicine. Nice. Behind that. Gabe's got himself a drink.
Yeah. It's really interesting. I actually didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The plasma treatment goes to, it's a 100-year-old medical treatment. And the reason we stopped is because they came up with a vaccine for polio. And that was a big time, and for measles and mumps and things like that. Mm-hmm. So
Todd, you say that works better than, say, drinking fish tank cleaner?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure that we're clear here.
Yeah, I heard from Arizona tried that.
Yep, they did. Of course, Go Arizona. Put us on the map.
Hey.
Oh my gosh!
Listen.
I thought it was Florida, but it was Arizona.
Mm.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think you're still behind Florida.
What are you gonna do?
Probably.
What?
So to pivot out of that, hard pivot. Do you know where, if the world hadn't ended, where I would be right now?
Majorca, Spain.
I was going to say Brazil.
Almost. I would
Palm Springs again,
on the upper deck of a 747 over the Atlantic.
On your way.
I assume having something similar to this after my 7th course of whatever, flying to drive the GP.
Nice. Well,
nice.
So, yeah, literally, like now I will have a chance to drive the GP probably this fall.
Yeah, but you'll be able to do it in Palm Springs. Don't you own a place in Palm Springs yet? Seems like you're out there.
No, I will be in Palm Springs. That's true. I'll probably have an opportunity before then. But yeah, I was also supposed to be in Palm Springs, driving, as you can see behind me.
That's pushing back all the deliveries and all the plans for it, because of course all the plants have shut down now. They all shut down for the month of April.
They produced a few though. I
saw a truckload of them.
Produced a couple hundred, I thought.
Yeah, I've seen
before they shut down.
A bunch of the things.
They've taken delivery. There's a few people that actually have them
in Europe,
in England. I know.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen that, and I've seen a couple of people doing mods for them and things like that. So it's interesting, and it'll delay things here. it'll delay two things here: the electrics, which are supposed to start showing up in March.
They did
at dealers,
smattering,
a couple here and there.
They did, and there's still more. I mean, they produced a bunch. I mean, they were producing a lot from the plant, from my understanding, through March till the shutdown.
Yeah. Well, hopefully
have we talked? I mean, we've talked about the electric since I drove it.
Yeah.
I mean, God, I got to tell you, I had a Cooper S loaner right after that, and I think it was after we.
That was a good looking car. That was a good looking car too.
The gray one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was a great car. I mean, well, here's the thing. That was a great car. It's, I want to say it was like 32 grand. It was pretty loaded. But I got to tell you, the Cooper SE, the electric, I hate to say it, but more fun to drive.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm judging an automatic Cooper S, which is a fine car, the DCT is a fun car, fun transmission. But the electric, man, it's a little go-kart. It's crazy how the weight, it's where the weight is. And I know it's heavier, but the weight's so down low and the torque is so immediate that it really, I think, matches exactly what the Mini's, like the whole promise of the brand is. Like it actually, in a lot of ways, is better suited to the Mini than the standard gasoline powered engine, because it's so immediate. It makes the car feel more agile. And it is obviously, way more efficient. Not that matters with $2 gas or 89-cent gas, but kind of makes you feel good for never having to fill up.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And I think somebody did the math. There's a government website you can go to that kind of tells you how much you would save, what the economy is for an electric car.
Well, or you can go to Motoring File where we figured it out.
Yeah, well, there's a government website too. You basically tells you what state you're in, and it averages the gas prices there, and tells you like.
Oh yeah, we didn't do that. I didn't do that.
It averages the gas prices and it averages the electricity prices for your localities then, and says here's how much basically it's going to cost you to drive this many miles in a year, and it's a pretty cool thing, and it's a government website. You should find it.
So you can basically, I mean, I think that's got to be, if you're looking at it. And you're buying a Mini for a city car, and you've got a car that you drive up wherever, you're a 2-car family. Man, it's a good idea. I gotta say, I've really come around to it as a concept. And if you're not going to get a manual and get like super old school, which is probably what I would do, but if you're not, then why not get the electric?
But I wonder, even for somebody like DB in Arizona, right? Let's say he gets it, and for the most part. He'll spend 40 minutes going to work, and that's only 12 miles or something like that.
Yeah, 18 miles takes me an hour. Sure.
Yeah, in the middle of Arizona sun.
Oh man, what do you do? Right? that's like.
Will it?
I mean, you're approaching Chicago style.
Yeah. Will it make it in that kind of an environment? Like, could DB
on a 120-degree day? Will I be able to make it round trip?
But what?
The 40 miles.
How many miles?
40 miles round trip.
40 miles.
Yeah, my
in 120 degree temperatures.
But why would you not though? Like you're so the thing with this is the temperatures don't affect this near as much as the i3 or previous.
Okay.
Cars, just because it's the latest gen batteries. And the way the engineer described it, it's the batteries and it's the power management that they're doing now, which is very different. And so he said, because that was my first question, I was like, okay, when it's like 10 degrees, what am I going to see? And
that's not
it'll go down a little bit.
You're blasting the air conditioning. That's drawing power. That takes power to run an AC.
Yeah. So, I mean, he said it'll go down a little bit depending on, all the factors, but nothing compared to the i3.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The only problem with that electric car is I'm still in it for an hour.
Highway, and I drove highway half the time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like,
it's
for DB, if you said, hey, for $26,000, you could have this car and you'd spend $10 a month in electricity.
Mm-hmm. Well, you also, you can get a base one and get 7,500 federal tax.
Right. Which brings the price down to 26.
Is there a state incentive?
Not in Arizona. There was, but the incentive goes away next year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
but it's not I mean, honestly, when you think about it, like even from a long-term perspective, if you owned it for 10 years, it's not bad because consider the fact that the things that wear out, Chad, you can speak to this: suspension, brakes.
But it's an electric car; it's not going to have as much maintenance.
What else?
As a gasoline.
Yeah.
Right. No oil changes and that kind of stuff.
It's not. Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's bulletproof entirely, but I mean, there's a lot less to worry about. And people say they worry about the batteries, but
I want to do intake.
I've spoken. I'm sure Chad will sell them to you. You put them in the back seat.
We'll just give you a soundtrack to play in there.
Yes. Perfect.
The JCW soundtrack.
No, my problem with that, Gaben, we talked about this on the last show, but my problem with having an electric car right now is I'm still part of the problem that's causing me to have an hour-long commute.
Yeah.
Right? Which I'm trying to get away from. So, but I mean, I would rock the electric Mini, no doubt, but that doesn't help me in my problem. So, I'm going to switch to. I'm actually getting close to switching, and this will be a topic.
I mean, I think the other thing, the other big takeaway from spending some time in the Cooper S, the DCT Cooper S, is, and I know this is going to be crazy for some people, but the automatic in my Clubman shifts faster than the DCT.
That's shocking.
I'm going to let the dust settle a little bit. It just straight up does. I've drove them back to back a couple times. And if I put in sport mode in the JCW and sport mode in the Cooper S, they're close, but it feels to me, and I hear it and I feel it and I see it, decidedly faster.
On the drag strip, an R56 JCW with the automatic is so much faster than a manual. On a drag strip.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure. But I'm talking DCT to old school, like quote unquote old school manual.
That's just crazy.
That manual, automatic. That automatic and the 8-speed in the JCW Clubman and Countryman, and I think it's in the new F56 JCWs too, right? Yeah, it's the same one.
Yeah.
Didn't they just drop it in?
I think so.
Man, it's a good transmission. I mean, I've been saying it for a while, but this new iteration with the new software for 2020 is even better. I mean, it's
game changer.
Really good. I would still prefer a really nice Getrag manual, but it's getting close, man. It's really good.
Yeah, it was funny when we had my in-laws Countryman for a couple months when they were out in Arizona over the winter, and my lady friend was driving it on a regular basis, and it's an automatic. She's like, I like the manual because she's got the manual
a Roadster
right now and loves it. But she goes, I could really get used to this. It's so nice, and the Countryman transmission it's just so smooth and effortless, unlike any automatic transmission cars. I don't think people give it enough praise for what it is.
It's
you don't even feel it senses the upshifts and downshifts way more than any other automatic transmission. When you punch it, it's like, oh, it's there.
It also learns what you're doing, and I drive. I know this is probably going to be a shock to you guys. You may want to kind of hold on for a second, but I drive somewhat aggressively, and it has learned. I mean, it didn't used to drive this way,
right.
And it has learned that it holds on to a gear a little longer or it downshifts a little later to keep the revs higher. It has learned that, and I swear the thing, if you were to drive it, you would think that the software was off, something wasn't right, and that's not true. It's just simply reacting to how it has been driven over the past 10,000 miles.
Right.
And I do a lot of manual driving with the automatic still, just because it's so responsive that it's pretty satisfying to do it. One of the things about the DCT that's kind of cool is it is more seamless in sort of everyday traffic. There's no question. It's more seamless. But also the DCT has the ability to, or the issue, however you want to look at it, rolls a little bit. You go from reverse to D, and it just like rolls before it goes because it's a manual.
Right.
Right.
It's an actual manual in there. versus the automatic, which is certainly not.
Interesting stuff, man. Well, I can't wait to get behind the wheel of the electric when they finally get one here. If they get one that's drivable, it's not sold, because I imagine as soon as they come in, they're going to sell them as fast as they get them.
I can't wait to drive again.
Yeah. I know. I was going to say I can't wait to drive places.
Yeah, I agree.
I just go and drives now. Have you guys just done that? Like, getting in your car and just like drove around?
Yes. We both. I mean, just to get out of the house, we're just gonna go out and see the world and see what's going on, and go, hey, look, there's nobody out here.
It reminds me when I was like 18 or 19 and I felt freedom, and I had a car, and I would just literally just go drive in the country, and I had nowhere to go. I didn't go anywhere. I just drove from my parents' house to nowhere to back, but it felt great.
Nice. I haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah, freedom.
I drove today more than to the market. I got on the freeway and whatever, and there was still a remarkable number of cars on the road at noon in Arizona.
Oh, it's insane how many people are still out. And you know what? Yeah. I said that I remarked to that because we did a store run this morning about 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And the number of people out, it just seemed like a normal day to me. But you got to think, there's 40 to 50% of the world that's still out there working.
Yeah.
You know, all the people doing this.
Oh, yeah. There's a ton of cars not on the road right now.
Yeah. It's just, there's definitely a lot of things. You drive by a strip mall and it's completely empty. There's not a single car there at any place. But as far as traffic goes, and
you go to Home Depot and it's Saturday busy at 9 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. Right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And then I go to the post office. It's one of the busiest places
around.
Ton of people at the post office.
Wow.
But yeah.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, there's a lot of businesses like me who, rely on that. And it's like, nope, I got to get there and get this stuff out. And it's the most efficient, cheapest way to do it. So
how do I is there a way to send a thing in a chat?
Yeah, it's called Slack.
Yeah, there is.
Or you could do chat.
Yeah.
I think we haven't had a lot of snow in Chicago, and I think I think from what I can tell, it was like legitimately icy, which is always tough, no matter how good you are in the snow. If it's icy, it's icy. Anyway, kind of funny. Did you guys hear that somebody took advantage of this time, and it's somewhat controversial, to break the Cannonball record, to break the
I saw
Isn't that crazy? It was like 27 hours, just over 27.
Yeah, just over 27 hours, I think.
I follow.
That's crazy.
I do work for local police departments here, right? So I follow them on Twitter, and one of the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department posted last week some of the insane tickets they've given over the last 2 weeks.
Oh, God.
And the biggest one was 123 and a 65.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
That was the worst in local. That's in the city. That's on a highway through the city.
There have been some bikes around us right now, 160 miles an hour in a 55. So
yeah. That's like a handcuffs trip to the.
That's you're gonna spend the night in jail.
Well, they were talking about like one cop, clocked it at 130, and then another cop clocked it at 160, and then another cop clocked it at something else, and they just see it go by, and they're like, well, we're not gonna chase that.
So they did it on. They did it. Gabe,
not gonna catch him.
April 4th.
Yeah,
they did the Cannonball Run 26 and 30 minutes, 26 hours, 38 minutes.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That is incredible. Think about it.
I'm going to go watch that movie right now. I'm going to go get some.
Have you seen? I'm going to plug. Have you seen Apex? What the heck is it called? There's a movie that was just released recently about the Cannonball Run, about the actual race, and I highly recommend it. It's called Apex: The Secret Race Across America. It's on iTunes, and
I think it's an Amazon.
You have to buy it, but consider this. Is it on Amazon to just watch stream?
I'm gonna check.
Well, regardless, I'm always a fan of supporting independent filmmakers, and these guys love cars, obviously.
It's on Amazon.
So if you want to support them, it's worth it. But regardless, it's awesome. So if you need to buy it or stream it, whatever, it's a great watch, and I would highly recommend it. But what it does is it sort of shines light on the original Cannonball formula, which I didn't realize was it wasn't as glamorous as you'd think. And it was full of characters, as you can imagine.
Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, I watched that and then watched the Cannonball Run right after it. And I got to say, I actually like the Apex, that story better.
Yeah. I'll have to,
I mean, the Cannonball Run is one of the worst movies of all time.
It is, but it's so fun to watch, though.
Oh, it is. But it's a Hal Needham film, so it's fun.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
Yes. All of them were really bad.
Lord knows we got time on our hands, so we can check out Apex.
It's bad. I would, if you're going to watch something like that, I would just go straight to Smoking Bandit 1. Just keep it right there. And then I also would recommend the first season, but only the first season of Dukes of Hazzard. Little known fact, they filmed the first season in Georgia. Everything else was in California.
Have you seen the video of the I think it was England or Germany about, and I'm pretty sure it's BMW who enters a roundabout and goes completely
No, it was a Skoda. I just saw it today.
I just saw it
everywhere on Twitter.
Yeah,
it's a Skoda. Yeah,
Jalopnik posted about that.
When he passed the camera, I feel like he was still going up.
Yeah, it was like launching like a rocket.
Yeah, same guy.
It was unbelievable. And I feel like if you slow-mo it, there's a split second at the very end before he hits that you could see him turn his wheels, or like there's the slightest moment of realization that he was about to go airborne.
Oh my gosh. And when it was funny because like from my local police department, who their tweet on that was, "Those Duke boys are at it again."
So I'm a big fan of roundabouts. I mean roundabouts are like, you can't look at the data any other way. They're so much safer, and for car guys, they're fun. They're just a ton of fun. So to me, it's like a win-win. But I do question the roundabout design on that one, because if you look closely, it's bricked all around, and it's a ramp. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's not a good idea. It'll just be a wall.
Yep.
Like, you hit the wall and you kind of bounce off, and you total your car, but you're not flying into a second story of a house.
I love roundabouts because we've got a lot of them here really near my house. And I always get some jackass pull up next to me. Of course, I'm in my JCW, and it's got stripes on it and Pirelli stickers on the front. And everybody tries to get a big head when they pull up next to me. And usually it's some jackass in some sort of pickup truck, right? And then I know the roundabouts are coming out, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to let you get like 2 or 3 car lengths in front of me, and then just watch what happens. And I've seen a couple of them get sideways trying to catch me through the roundabout.
Oh my God.
They give up after the first turn, and I go through one roundabout, and then they kind of get a little squirrely, and they're like, okay, no. They just give up at that point.
Yeah, I mean,
I love it. 5 of them in a row.
I have to, speaking of roundabouts and minis, I don't know, that's a terrible segue. I have to plug the article I just wrote, and the video I just did. I'm trying to do a little bit more video about the Quail. And it's like, I was there 6 months ago, but I finally put the video together. Everybody listening, I don't know how many people have stuck with us this entire time. I'd like to think thousands, DB.
Sure, we'll go with that.
You should go check it out. It's a look at not just like this ridiculous, most like exclusive car event you can imagine, but what it would be like to drive a 1965 Cooper S to it. Just a classic Mini. And it was amazing because you've got, the experience of driving it from Laguna Seca to the Quail, which is up and over Loris Grande. I can never pronounce it. Which is basically a mountain. I mean, I'm from the Midwest. It's a mountain. And so the car began to overheat halfway through. And I began to overheat halfway through. It was hot. And so I did kind of pull over and chill for a little bit. But once I got there, the car park is insane. So I parked kind of out in an open field away so I could take some photos. But I passed up the spot between the Senna and the LaFerrari. mean, you could like throw stones at GT2s and, 488 Ferraris everywhere. And then by the time you got in, and it's like it's one of those car shows that boggles the mind. I mean, they don't just have, like it's actually Pagani, like Horacio Pagani. Yeah. It's right there, not the car, the guy. Like right. It's Christian von Koenigsegg. Like it's, the guy who founded Singer. Like everybody is there. And they're not just showing off cars. There's an airplane. There's a helicopter. Why is there a fuselage of a jet over there?
Right.
It's ridiculous. It's insane. And the food, the drink, everything is just amazing. So check it out. It's just it's a fun, quick trip into a different world. Certainly a world
it's a throwback to what I did.
Don't often spend time in.
2006 when I picked up the GP in Monterey.
That's right.
Yeah, and then Pebble's different. Pebble Beach is much more. The funny thing about this is it's kind of rock and roll versus Pebble being kind of. Yeah, Pebble Beach is different, and it's cool, but this is more like, okay, we're gonna do this, but we're also gonna invite like crazy modified, like Art Deco, like Harleys and all sorts of crazy shit. Just because, in the name of art and, and automotive culture. So super cool. Quick look at it. A lot of fun. The car itself is a star though. I mean, the classic Cooper S is amazing. I drove a 99 and a 93 the day before. And, I guess maybe I shouldn't say this because it shows my ignorance, but I was shocked. The 65 was way better. I mean, it drove better. Everything about it was better. I would have died if I had hit a squirrel, but it was more fun to drive.
Nice. Well, check it out over at Motoring File.
Yeah, I'm going to link up all the stuff that I've been just flooding our Slack channel with links to all the things, including the Suzuki Swift leaping through the air over a roundabout.
Oh, Suzuki Swift.
It was so funny. It's a lot of Jalopnik links this week, but you guys will get them.
Good call. Including
the Cannonball Run and the stupid drivers in Chicago and some more stupid drivers in Michigan, which I thought would be fun to read.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Or something. I don't know. So
here. Good to talk to you guys anyway, at least a little bit.
Same.
Yeah, this is a really good part of the show. It's a really good part of the show. I want to remind you guys now more than ever, MotoringStripes.com, number one. I'm putting Todd to the front today. I want you to go over and just spend all your money with Todd. You need an intake, you need exhaust, just go over to MotoringStripes.com. Todd will sell it to you. He's going to mark it up like 1,000%, but he's going to sell it to you. All right? Just telling you, MotoringStripes.com.
He's got connections.
Exactly. Anything you need. Let Todd be your Mini Cooper parts concierge.
I've been asked some crazy shit in my day.
Yeah. Including for those of you who were insane enough to watch the Tiger show on Netflix, he's got Tiger badges now. Just saying.
Oh God. Are you serious?
Yeah.
I just saw that.
You mean the best show ever?
I know
I binged it. That's really good.
It is like a train wreck, though.
Oh my God!
Look away.
Yeah, we're skipping that one because there's animal lovers in this house, so we don't watch those kind of shows.
Oh no, DB, you could get a pet. It's fine. You could. It's totally fine.
It's
died in this.
Yeah, well, not that they showed. It's disturbing.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, MotoringStripes.com. Don't forget. Also, I don't want you to forget about Aaron over at OutMotoring.com. I don't want you to forget about Chad at DetroitTuned.com, OutMotoring.com, DetroitTuned.com, and our boys over at CravenSpeed, CravenSpeed.com. Right? If you have downtime, I don't know who has all this freaking downtime because I mean I'm busier than a one-legged man at a pieing contest. I swear to God, my butt sits in my chair at 7:00 in the morning. I'm lucky if I'm up at 4:30. I don't know where you guys got all this time, but if you do, go over CravenSpeed, OutMotoring, Detroit Tuned, Motoring Stripes. Just get all the stuff. Your Mini needs an oil change. OutMotoring.com. You need some wax and stuff like that. Actually, oil change, you get that from Chad. Then you get to OutMotoring.com, get all the car care products so that when you're done being stuck at home, your car looks super rad, right? It'll be awesome.
Bling, bling.
Exactly. And then just to add a little bit extra safety or something else cool, you're going to go over to CravenSpeed, you get a Gemini phone mount, maybe go and take a crack at putting in the short shift kit. If you got an R50, R56, R53, because that's so rad. Or, the whatever. Go check out all the sponsors underneath the White Roof, please. That would be super awesome. And then leave a note if you actually visited them. And tell them that White Roof Radio told you that that you had to spend money with them. Don't forget.
I agree.
MotoringStripes.com.
And can I as a third party?
Yes.
As a third party. Oh, sorry, DB. I couldn't interrupt you. There's like a slight delay, which just makes me look like an idiot.
It's like a 30-second delay.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Gabe. Sometimes you don't need to delay.
Well, I know. I set myself up for that one. No, I was gonna try to say something nice. I'm gonna stick with it though. In all seriousness, like if there's a lot of people out there that are hurting either financially or actually physically right now, and our heart goes out to them. There are other people that are not. There are other people that are doing just fine. And I think if you're doing fine, now is your moment to give to the things that you love. And to me, that's, the mini community. It's the people that serve the mini community. It's the small shops. It's the folks that, DB just mentioned. It's if you have been thinking about buying a car, I know there's deals out there, but it's not always about the deal. It's also about supporting the people you know. So I think it's a good moment for people who have the ability to spend a little to do that, because that's, I think, what a lot of people need right now.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
MotoringStripes.com. Just Todd. Just let Todd be your Mini Cooper parts everything concierge, please.
And we still got free shipping.
And honestly, if somebody does that, tell me that you did that so I can laugh hysterically. Because I think that would be awesome, Zeke.
Yeah.
We're all trying to do our part. So
he's going to order an intake.
Yeah, Todd, I need to talk to you about some stripes. Actually,
this is actually the Zeke's birthday show. He just turned 40, so everyone.
Woohoo! Happy birthday, Zeke.
Send him a email.
I thought that guy was ageless.
He is ageless. Yes, he will always be young and at spirit, but he's got the family life. He just turned 40.
Happy birthday, Zeke.
Exactly.
Goes downhill from here, brother.
Oh man, it just gets better.
Well, it's all the day drinkers out there, all the quarantine day drinkers,
right?
Included, man. I knew it was bad when the lady friend, it's like a Wednesday at, I don't know, 11 a.m. And she's like, what are we drinking?
See, my lady friend still has to leave the house to work, so we're not doing that.
We don't have to drive anywhere. So what difference does it make? That's my point.
Yeah.
French 75s all around.
There you go.
All right.
All right. I think we're almost out of Zoom juice. So thanks everybody for listening and for the Odd Shape Show. We'll talk again soon. Bye. Yes, I don't know. Thanks again for listening. This is the part of the show where I like to make that funny clicking sound, and then I say, questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead, click back over to whiteroofradio.com. There you can leave us a note in the show notes. You can also email us, feedback@whiteroofradio.com. Until next time, gang, this is DB. I'm done.